some people have criticized you because you've been pretty open about your dislike. You'd like to punch him in the face. But right now, he's leading in the polls in 5 battleground states. Any advice to...
What if I told you that one of the greatest actors of our time just committed career suicide? Robert De Niro's recent meltdown on The View wasn't just bad PR. It cost him a whopping $30 million in lost deals. But here's the kicker. De Niro's blaming you for his downfall. Want to know why? We've got the inside scoop on how this Hollywood icon went from hero to zero.
We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS.
I think of how absurd it is. And this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case. He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system.
Overnight. You won't believe what he said next. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this. Untouchable Hollywood icon Robert De Niro entering the set of The View. He's there to promote his most recent movie, but he has no idea that he's going to set off a bomb that will ruin his career. Every explosive second of what would turn out to be the interview that rocked Tinseltown was captured by the rolling cameras. Everything happened more quickly than you could say, "You talking to me?" De Niro began shooting at fans who dared to disagree with him because he believed he was impervious to criticism.
I think Hitler, Mussolini, but they're fools and clowns. Well, there will be, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do? Well, I think I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously. Because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people serious.
In front of their eyes, the once adolescent actor transformed into a raging bull, shocking the studio audience. Not even damage control guru Whoopi Goldberg was able to stop this catastrophe. The De Niro train had already fallen off the rails when she attempted to call for a commercial break. Let me tell you people, social media went completely crazy. Hashtags like Twang's Fire Sunny was trending on Twitter more quickly than you could say cancel culture. Fans were out for blood, not just rage. The sentiment was perfectly captured in one tweet. How can ABC overlook this? This is just offensive. It's not brave. That must hurt, Bobby. This is where things get really juicy though.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because as you've said before, this guy's a con artist and he's gotten away with it for years.
I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency. It's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong.
Rumor has it that Warner Brothers executives were going crazy as they watched this train wreck happen in real time. If you were those executives, could you imagine watching your $30 million investment burn down due to one actor's lack of composure? It's like holding an empty water gun while watching your house burn down. The consequences were severe and quick. 2 major studios withdrew their projects from De Niro in a matter of hours. Yes, you read correctly.
For everybody. And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French, they just want to with the rest of the country. And then what? We're going to sit around and say, what? We told you so? Or whoever, I told you so? It's going to happen. If he gets elected, it's going to change this country.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him. There's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see ever.
Faster than you could say, "You'll never work in this town again." De Niro was the shaky piece that brought the entire tower tumbling down, making it resemble a game of Hollywood Jenga. Folks, here's the real deal. This went beyond De Niro's words. He said it that way. It seemed as though he was challenging his supporters to turn against him by his haughtiness and tone. And they certainly did. Longtime fans of De Niro were left to question whether they had ever had a close relationship with the man who played the parts they adored. Hollywood just dropped a $46 million bomb on De Niro's career. So hold on to your popcorn, people. And if you thought Warner Brothers' $30 million hit was bad, Universal Pictures just dealt you another $16 million sting. 2 comedies for the family? Lost. Poof. As simple as that. The worst part is that De Niro is going all out and labeling his own fans ignorant rather than attempting to maintain his dignity. Is this man genuine? Let's dissect it. Warner Brothers sent De Niro a $30 million wake-up call in addition to firing him. Did he pay attention though? Not at all. Universal Pictures fled before you could say, "You talking to me?" after spotting the impending train wreck. Projects worth an additional $16 million are no longer available. Hollywood's way of saying thanks but no thanks to one of its greatest icons is worth $46 million. You would think that someone would change their mindset after losing that much money. False. De Niro is destroying Hollywood as a whole, not just destroying bridges. And you know what? He is being treated like a radioactive material by the studios. His last hope, Netflix, they want to work with him as much as we want to watch paint dry. This is where things get really juicy though. De Niro is receiving a harsh education in Hollywood economics at the age of 81. In the past, his name alone was a box office hit, but now it's more akin to a box office killer. De Niro is left scratching his head as the industry changes more quickly than a shapeshifter in a funhouse mirror. Are you curious about the true shocker? Roles that would have been De Niro's to take a few years ago are being snatched up by younger actors who are circling like sharks. Additionally, staying current with audience preferences is more important than age. It's not a cologne you want to be wearing in Tinseltown, let me tell you. And De Niro's recent scandals have made him box office poison. But there's still more. De Niro is blaming everyone but himself, rather than looking at himself in the mirror. He's even thinking of suing Universal and Warner Brothers for firing him. Yes, buddy. Good luck with that. He seems to be living in a fantasy world, believing that he can sue his way back to the top. In actuality, Hollywood is making it very evident that viewers prefer entertainment to political soap operas. De Niro is suffering greatly as a result of his refusal to read the room. Relevance is more important than money alone. De Niro is currently as relevant as a VHS player at a 4K film premiere. Not only is De Niro's spectacular decline from grace a personal tragedy, but it also represents a fundamental change in Hollywood. Aging stars are being abandoned by the industry more quickly than you can say, "You talking to me?" Let's face it, people. De Niro's refusal to read the room may have been the last nail in the coffin of his career. The worst part is that Hollywood is slamming the door shut rather than simply moving on. Big names that could even hint at controversy are being dropped by studios out of fear. It's as if De Niro suddenly turned radioactive. Even Netflix, the go-to resource for celebrities who have been canceled, is ignoring him. What will happen to our fallen legend next? Is he headed for the trash can of Tinseltown history? Or will Hollywood ever trust him again? There's no denying that this is no longer solely about De Niro. It serves as a warning to all aging celebrities. Shape up or ship out is the clear message.